So hi, I'm Tom Baker. I'm the Senior Livestock Officer here in Northants, and today we've been TB testing the cattle, which is something we need to do in order to move the cattle between CPHs or reserves basically. So in order to move the cattle from here at Ringhall Old Sulahay down to the Nem wetlands, we need to have a clear TB test. This basically involves injecting the cattle with an avian TB and a bovine TB, a very minute amount, in order to see how they react to it. So fortunately we passed. After a few scary moments and a few cows nearly escaping, we did pass the TB test. So at the moment we've got 20 cows, we've got 17 highlands, 17 pedigree highlands. We have one longhorn bull and 2 steers that keep him company. We're basically using the cattle to help manage the nature reserves. We use them for scrub control, grassland management, and they basically do the bulk of the work on these reserves where we've got meadows and grasslands to manage, areas of scrub that we want bashing around. We use the cattle to do the majority of taking that sort of last year's growth and last year's vegetation off. So at the moment we run majority highlands. They're a native breed, are really tough and quite hardy. Their long hair basically sort of helps them, it protects their skin when they're bashing through scrub and going through brambles, and during the summer when there's flies and biting insects, that long hair around their eyes and over their body sort of protects their skin. So they are, really quite tough and versatile animals. The sort of commercial cattle that you see most farmers keeping just couldn't survive on the nature reserves, the sort of the way we're grazing them, pushing them for conservation grazing. And the highlands are just absolutely fantastic. They seem to be able to survive on thin air almost, and they're just brilliant at what they do. Last year we chose to invest in buying a bull, so this will allow us to obviously breed the cattle and be able to produce some calves, hopefully this spring, all being well. Obviously the plan is going forward that we'll be able to produce our own cattle rather than buying them in. This comes with a load of advantages basically, so that we will be able to breed animals and sort of know their temperament. We'll be able to work with them from a young age, so rather than buying something in and finding out that it's wild 10 days after we bought it. We're looking to expand our sort of cattle operation. We've got various new reserves coming in hand, Strawberry Hill being one of the biggest, that's going to need a lot of cattle management. So rather than spending tens of thousands of pounds funding cattle to get them there, we'll be able to breed our own and have animals that are quiet and easy to work with and get the job done at the same time. If you want to see our cattle, the best places to go will be Summerlays, Ditchford Lakes and Meadows, and if you want to see the cows calving, if you come to Barford Wooden Meadows, you should be able to see them from the main track. You won't be able to go in with them obviously because the calving cattle can be a little bit finicky, so we've sort of excluded public from the main part of the field, but you will be able to still see them in the field. It's absolutely fantastic. Working with the cattle is a dream of mine, and being in this job where I can sort of work with nature and work with animals and sort of be that in between that farming world and that conservation world is just a fantastic role, and I thoroughly enjoy it, and there's never really a day that I don't enjoy coming to work.